Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I guess I got some more Calgary Flames news to talk about, as it seems like Michael Stone, we just can't seem to get rid of this guy. I'm not too sure, not complaining either way, but interestingly is that he was here in camp on a professional tryout. Then he got released from his professional tryout. Then I saw the Calgary Flames actually sign Michael Stone to a 1-year, 2-way contract or $700,000, and that was shortly after when the Calgary Flames signed forward Brett Ritchie, which I would say essentially this move is that the Calgary Flames have added more veteran depth to the lineup, but I'm going to have to assume that with Brett Ritchie as well and Michael Stone signings that they both, after they signed, they were put on waivers. I'm essentially assuming that they're just going to be a reserve contractor, maybe even potentially play in the American Hockey League, as neither player is on the taxi squad. That the Calgary Flames already have 6 players on the taxi squad. But on the other hand, it just doesn't hurt to have more proven veteran depth on the system, as it's going to be a lot more difficult, especially during this time where if you want to call someone up right away. But let's just quickly go over the story on the Michael Stone signing. I mean, considering that last year we bought out his contract to fit him underneath the cap, and then Yusuf Mackey got injured, and then we signed him back. So Michael Stone is still going to get 2 paychecks from the Calgary Flames, as he is on the payroll both as a buyout, and this is the last year that he's on the salary cap for a buyout and this contract as well. So ultimately, I guess you could say he probably almost made all of his money that he was still owed on the last year of his contract. But I say it's a 1-year, 2-way contract for $700,000 a season, and he is from Winnipeg, Manitoba. He's played 472 games in the NHL, both with the Arizona/Phoenix Coyotes and the Calgary Flames. He has scored 31 goals and 93 assists for 124 points in his NHL career. He showed up for 33 games for the Calgary Flames last season, scoring 2 goals and 5 assists. And as you recall, he was originally acquired by the Calgary Flames late in the 2016-17 deadline, just before the trade deadline. And mentioned from Winnipeg, he is a Gemini, born June 7th, 1990, 6'3" defenseman, 210 pounds, as a right-hand shot defenseman, which seemed like that's what Calgary was always looking for. And originally he was drafted by Arizona in the 3rd round, 69th overall in the 2008 NHL draft. I always have to throw this in as well, that he was also the co-captain of the Calgary Flames, or the Calgary Hitmen, I should say, back in 2010 when they went to the Memorial Cup. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's somewhat rewarding some loyalty for Michael Stone. I mean, I thought that maybe he would still sign with the team just to be that extra defenseman. I mean, he's kind of that perfect player that has some veteran experience that you could plug into the lineup if you're in an absolute pinch. I mean, at this stage of his career, I would say he is a bottom pair defenseman at most, and he's not, taking time away from a young player that you would have up just for the sake of it. But he is going to still be around the Flames in some capacity. Now, if I go on the cap-friendly website on my phone here quickly, is that the Calgary Flames, I know that they're both under, not under the active roster of the tax squad, but they're on the reserve list. I mean, the Calgary Flames they always project to have just over $2 million in cap space, but I think then that number really shrinks down when they've activated Derek Ryan from the taxi squad to the active roster, because we are still carrying a 20-man roster out of 23 possible. But I know that when it comes to contracts, each team can carry 50 contracts. Well, Calgary's up to 47 out of the 50 with the Brett Ritchie and the Michael Stone signing, because as I mentioned, after when they signed, they were put on waivers, and I'm going to say, not too sure if they'll be on the American Hockey League, because the American Hockey League hasn't started yet, and as well as how much hockey they're going to play in the meantime. But as I say, they're on the non-roster forwards and defense for Brett Ritchie and Michael Stone. So what do you think of the signing? I mean, it doesn't hurt to have proven depth in the lineup, but I'm going to still say Michael Stone's going to still spend more time on the sidelines than being on the team. But it's just interesting how, I'm going to say, we did overpay him and give him a little too much term after when we acquired him at the deadline in 2017. And I know also part of that was to combination of keeping Dennis Weidman out of the lineup because he was more of a liability than an asset towards the end of his tenure with the Calgary Flames, and that was beyond the Henderson incident that he had. But remember when we brought in Matt Barkowski and Michael Stone down the stretch, eventually we got into the playoffs, but we had that brief count with the Anaheim Ducks. But I think this also might, potentially give some more options for the Seattle Kraken as well. I doubt that they're going to want to go after Brett Ritchie or Michael Stone, but it just seems interesting that, we bought him out. Then we brought him back, and then I thought, well, is he going to sign somewhere else? And I know Michael Stone has been loyal to the Flames and likes being here in Calgary. He was thrilled when they brought him back after they bought him out. It's all business, but I didn't think he was actually going to come back and sign right after training camp and just to start the season. I think maybe they kind of spread out the transactions as well so that maybe they'll get caught into that waiver wire, because once you place someone on waivers, anyone can pick them up. But then you have to also put them on the active roster. You can't just take someone on waivers to put him on your non-reserve list without having them going on waivers themselves. But it's not very often that teams do that, but it's just more proven depth for the Calgary Flames. So what do you think of the signing and all these other depth signs that we have signed after training camp with Brett Ritchie and Michael Stone? So anyway, as I say, you want to follow along this Calgary sports fans journey, home the Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders. I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, and after when the Calgary Flames play their first 6 games in the 2020-21 season, I'll be back with episode 2 of season 3 of my Calgary Flames 6, where I recap the games. It's just how the schedule worked. Given how pressed it is, Calgary's actually had a long layoff between games 3 and 4, but once they play their 6 games, I'll start recapping games. I already did my off-season catch-up in episode 1. I also do have a variety of content that's not sports-related with personal blogs and attempt comedy. And I also do share my experience today. I'm on the road at a sport event, so if it all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, do follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey. You know what you need to do, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below for other ways you can follow me. So I'm going to say, go Flames go, and I'll see you in the next video.